What up, everyone? Mutant XP back on the mic with this Mutant Experience episode 55 Postscript. Tonight we have my guests for this episode, BMxer and Bling from the Arizona Third Strike scene. I thought what we could do is talk a little bit to everyone on the stream, field some questions, and maybe talk a little bit about this event that is happening next weekend. That has to do with Third Strike. Something this little ditty called the Jazzy Finale Weekend. And so yeah. What up, Bling? BMxer?
Going on?
What's up, man?
So yeah, let's just start off by getting your thoughts on the podcast. We were supposed to do this ages ago, and so glad that we were able to get this done. But yeah, what did you guys think about the podcast? You heard it before anyone else did, and then so yeah, what were your thoughts?
Well, with me, it's the first time I've ever really done a podcast, and it's good to share the history of the fighting game series of my life, I guess, with my brother. Obviously, my brother has more experience with it since he's a little bit older. He's been around the scene for a lot longer. But it's great to share what I've been through with the fighting game community.
Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it. Um, and also, I should say this was also my first podcast as well. And thanks Anthony for having us on. It was really a pleasure to go through all the history of the AZ Third Strike history and just the FGC here in general. I had a lot of fun uh, just reliving past experiences, going back to B5 and Evolution 2002. Um, those were basically one of my best experiences that I've had when it comes to competitive fighting games. Was those early years and seeing how Third Strike took off at the very beginning because obviously 2002 was what did it, when Tokido, Mester, Nuki, KSK, and Chikio Sodom came down and just mopped the floor on the Americans. So it was just a fun experience, being there live and just witnessing all that and seeing how Third Strike was going to become the mainstream game from that day moving forward. But yeah, so much fun and just hanging out with Too Tall, Dogface, um, Jeff, Rebirth, the Arizona MVC2 crew who came down and played that weekend. We had quite a few AZ cats who came out and played on that weekend. It was just, fun to talk about all that stuff. So,
Yeah, the during the podcast we talked a lot about the AZ scene, and you guys had your last tournament last weekend. You did singles along with teams, and so tell us a little bit about that event and how it went, and where can people watch the VODs if they want to check it out.
So if you want to check out the Cactus League, which is we have that about every month. We do an event at the Gaming Zone. So if you're here local at Arizona, check it out. We have a Discord channel. If you want to join it, just hit me up. Um, but yeah, we try to do those monthly. Every now and then, like something might happen and we might not be able to do it. But the Gaming Zone is really where we play a lot of our Third Strike just because of how they have the cabinet setups. They have 3 versus cities. They have one with Third Strike, one with I think it's Alpha 3 and CVS 2. But when we do our events, we take all those PCBs out and put Third Strike. So we'll have 3 Third Strike setups there. And yeah, it's a really fun spot to play Third Strike if you're in the Arizona area. We got Tucson people come out. They're no joke. They're practicing every week. at Ofaka's house. But if you want to watch the stream, if you're not in AZ and you want to watch the stream, my stream Twitch/Bling_480. But yeah, we're trying new things out. We're doing the 3v3 tournaments now near the end. We don't really take those serious. Those are more like fun tournaments where we just do low tier battles and just try to do the hypest shit ever. The last time I was there, I played Hugo and I did a few hype things and took out a Wapo with his own character. He wasn't too happy about that, but hey, it is what it is. We go for those hype moments. So yeah, it's a real fun thing that we do on a monthly basis.
Yeah, speaking of El Guapo, I just mentioned him on Discord to get his ass over here because we're talking shit. So, oh man.
Speaking of El Guapo, I really do wish that me and Ray had a chance to do our own postscript, but for those of you who may not have caught it, I did the last episode with Ray Ramos, aka El
Yeah.
Guapo, so check it out on my YouTube channel. The whole entire episode, I was mesmerized, or the whole entire recording, I was mesmerized by the aquarium, by the fish tank. It was so distracting. It was like one of those weirdest things. Like during the recording, I kept just looking at the fish tank. But
Right.
yeah.
I mean, Ty's house is full of fish tanks. I mean, that's all you see over there. So,
Oh, speaking of Ty, thanks Ty for subbing with Prime. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Ty. Ty is cool.
So once again, we are sitting down here with BMxer and Bling. We just got done watching the live premiere of episode 55 of the Mutant XPerience podcast, where BMxer and Bling, two brothers from the Arizona Third Strike scene, sat down to talk a little bit about their times in the FGC. And let's talk a little bit more about your thoughts on Jazzy. I was just curious because the two of you have been running these events, and now you have something going on with the Cactus League. If either of you could suggest one new thing that you think Jazzy should try next season, what would it be?
Online tournaments.
Okay.
I'm not saying to get rid of offline tournaments, but I feel like a lot of Third Strike players are living in areas that doesn't really have a Third Strike scene, so they can't really travel for offline events. So yeah, like maybe mix in a little bit of online tournaments to give people that don't have the travel opportunity a chance to compete for some ranking points.
What about you, Dan? What do you think?
I think Roy's mic is all messed up.
Hold on.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry, Dan. I mean Roy.
Do we really sound alike?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for some but when we were doing the podcast, I could see both of your faces, and for some reason, I was able to distinguish the two of you. But now without the face cam,
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, there you
Okay.
go. All right. Well,
Yeah, I saw the screen spinning there. I wasn't
Okay.
sure, if that had anything to
Yeah.
do with.
Yeah. What do you
but-
think, Roy?
Yeah, going back to what Daniel was saying, yeah, you can definitely try online tournaments. Honestly, I mean, and this is based on preference here. I love playing offline. I love the social aspect of the whole tournament scene. I understand like the advantages of playing online, where you just you can just stay home and not have to go anywhere, but then, you have to have reliable internet, to do that and in order for everything to run smooth. Whereas offline, you don't really have to worry about all that stuff. And, and plus, I have much more enjoyment playing on a cabinet on original arcade hardware. But if I can suggest, if I can suggest one thing, that might make it run a bit smoother. Uh see.
It could even be just like anything, like an idea, or you know, again, like if you could, if 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 you could suggest one new thing, Jazz, you should try next season, what would it be?
Um how many ranking events are we allowed? I
Five.
mean
There's
five?
yes.
Five. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure if five is enough, for um for somebody, to build, who I mean, I think if you added like a couple more, I mean, I don't know, it probably, up their chances, to get into the get to an invite, because there's this season I've noticed there's been a couple of them where there was quite a bit of absences, so I don't know if, adding like one or two of them, to have them make up for it. I mean, I don't know. It's just a thought. So
It's
maybe
always
more
good to.
ranking events. So, but then you have the auto qualifier, so that's a huge one. So, but um,
Oh, definitely keep that feedback in mind as we look to the future. So Mustardback has a question. What happens to the event point value when CPS3 gets down to Mister?
It's
Worth
never
more
gonna
than
get.
console, but less
dude,
than
I'm not,
CPS3.
I'm
So,
not, I'm not holding my breath on that, dude.
yeah.
I mean that the CPS3 just has zero documentation, and I mean, they're basically trying to do this from scratch, and I mean, I think I saw, I don't know if it was on Twitter or on their website or whatever. I mean, it's gonna take them like freaking years to freaking trace everything on that board, and they're questioning if whether it's worth it or not. So honestly, I have no idea. I'm not holding my breath on it, but if they do pull it off, it's gonna be a damn miracle. I'll tell you that much. So.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Jotego is a very talented dude. I mean, he did the course for CPS2 pretty quickly, but you got to look at it this way, like CPS2 has a shit ton of documentation from all those chips. So he had everything that he needed to make that core, whereas the CPS3, I think there's like 6 custom chips on there that nobody knows anything about. So they have to remove all those chips and do all types of research to figure out, can it even run on the current Mister? Like, I don't think it can. Like, it's probably going to require more RAM or a breadth of hardware. So I don't know. Since they announced development on that, I haven't heard anything positive about that core being in any progress.
We'll say the Mister does become available. Mustardback, to answer your question, it really would depend on testing the Mister, seeing how close it is to the arcade.
Please.
And that's another thing. Yeah, like if they do get it to work, um, it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be so many bugs that need to be worked out. It's kind of like when the CBS3 first got emulated back in like '07. I mean, look at it now. Like CBS3 has been emulated since then, and it's still not perfect. So I feel like it might be the same way with the Mister. But if it does happen, it definitely make it easier to play Third Strike offline.
Yep, definitely.
And it would cost a lot less.
Yeah,
Well,
it would.
there's a guy. that's selling a CPS3 board for $3,000 right now.
Well, what's on it? Is he selling like the entire like Ultra Sim setup, or
It
Yeah, I
has,
think I saw that. I think I saw that.
yeah, I think it's iFix Retro selling it.
Yeah, that's Ben Fong, but yeah, but
It-
that board is tricked out.
it's
Like that has
pristine.
literally everything on
It
the
has
board.
everything you'd ever
It
want in the
even has the
CPS3.
custom the dims, right? Where you don't have to flash the board or
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the.
oh, it doesn't have those dims? Oh, well then, okay.
No, it
I
has
thought it
everything
did.
else though. It has the
Okay.
case,
The
the
Sims, yeah.
CPS, 2AV, the HDMI
Okay.
board.
Okay.
It's got it all.
No, but that's a lot of work on that board.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's like perfect soldering. Like there's probably nothing you need to do to that board. But $3,000 is a lot. It's
A
a
lot of
lot
money.
for one
Right.
game.
Right. Well,
yeah,
technically not one game.
It's one game, man.
No.
Nobody's playing JoJo
Hey,
or
no,
Warzone
hey,
out there.
not don't want to offend the JoJo community here.
Okay, all right. There
On
are
the
some
off chance
playing
that the JoJo
JoJo.
players might be listening to this Postscript Third Strike podcast postscript.
All
I
right,
like.
yeah. There are some JoJo players out there. Yeah, JoJo is a dope game. But I don't see very many people playing that in tournaments right now.
How
I like
about Warzard? You know, you don't get down some
Dude,
Warzard.
Uh-huh.
Warzard is a beautiful game. I mean, have you even paid attention to the sprites on that?
That game's a work of art,
I
right?
mean, look at my Ultra Sims demo on my YouTube. I mean, I basically just explained, dude, this looks almost like Guilty Gear. I mean, look at the sprites on this. It's just it's beautiful looking,
Yeah.
and I've never touched the game before, so it's,
I want to switch gears real quickly. I see Envy in the chat. What up, Envy? Envy's a Jazzy finalist this year. Mustard Back is also signed up for the event. Looking forward to meeting everybody for the first time, reuniting with a bunch of players. That's what the finale is all about, really. Just that time of year when I'll just come together and play this zany game of ours.
Yeah,
And
shout out to Mustard Bag. He's got a pretty dope Dudley.
and so yeah, I just wanted to switch gears and talk a little bit about the finale. Um, any predictions? Anything that y'all looking forward to seeing at the finale? Team tournament's going to be pretty interesting. We're gonna reveal some of the teams pretty soon. I mean, not really that well kept of a secret. Probably most people probably already know what all the teams are. But yeah, anything you guys are looking forward to seeing at the finale?
I'm just looking forward to watching the entire stream. Last year, I think I pretty much watched the entire thing from start to finish. Near the end, I could tell some people were getting a little tipsy on the mic, but I mean,
oh yeah.
it's a barcade. I mean, that's expected. So, I mean, it gets a little fun near the end because that's when people start getting a little tipsy and start talking a little more smack, which I kind of like that. I like a little smack talk.
Yeah.
If Neiman's gonna be there, I'm pulling for that guy. He's the homie.
Yeah, we haven't seen or heard from Neiman in a while. So who knows who shows up at the
Oh, that's a
finale?
bummer.
Yeah. Well, we know Envy and Mustardback are going. So hopefully everyone tunes in to the finale. Yeah, and I don't know about that Mustardback. Maybe if we run a 6 tournament. Speaking of 6, what do y'all think? I mean, I've played a little bit, but not like online or grinded it. Maybe after the finale, I don't know.
Six is fun. Um, it's still new. I said the same thing about five. Like I was like, oh, five's pretty fun, and then season 3 came out. I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. So hopefully Capcom doesn't do that as the game progresses, where they start changing every single little thing on the game, where it's just not fun anymore.
Uh-huh.
Because they kind of have a history of doing that. But with this new development team that's on it, I don't know. They seem to be getting it a little more and listening to what people actually want. Yeah, and that's true, Mustard Bag. None of them have backswing blow. If Dudley gets into the game, you know it's over. I'm gonna be maining Dudley.
What about you, Roy? Have you dabbled in the 6 yet?
No, I haven't touched Street Fighter 6 yet.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I know I need to, just to get a taste of it. But
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want
I
to.
know I'm still kind of stuck in Third Strike land,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't mind, messing around with it, a little bit. I mean, it looks really nice. I mean, it looks beautiful, and I've been hearing a lot of positive feedback on that game, thus far.
Uh,
But yeah, like Daniel was saying, the new development team that they have going on right now, I just hope they just leave the game alone and not do any like nerfs or any of that bullshit like they did with 5, like season after season. I just thought that was so stupid.
yeah.
Because when I was playing 5, I quit after season 1 after they freaking just raped Chun-Li because she was my main character and the best character in the game at the time. So hopefully, with 6, they just leave it alone and just let it ride out, as they get more DLC characters in. So I honestly think that's the way to do it. Just leave the game be, and it would almost feel like having like an original arcade game, because once like Third Strike, Super Turbo Alpha 3, once that game comes out, that's it. You can't do anything. The game is what it is, This is your this is how it's balanced and all that kind of stuff. So I would kind of like to see that, that feeling again, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Probably some people will be playing 6 at the finale at some point. Brandon, owner of Aki, shout outs to Brandon. Aki Bar Arcade. Probably have some setups. They had a big SF6 tournament last weekend, like mostly every venue did. So yeah. Curious to see how the meta of the game is gonna evolve.
yeah,
Seems like a lot of Third Strike players are okay with the game. Like they seem to be enjoying it. I mean, at least the Third Strike players I've been talking to, like they seem to be enjoying the game, which it's kind of hard to impress Third Strike players. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Like they're on the right track with the game.
I don't know. I think it's just because Ken has low forward super or something.
He does.
So
He
they
does
just like
have that.
he's like, hey, he has low forward super. It's like Third Strike.
He is target combo and destroy you.
I don't know. It still kind of just like feels like 5. You know, like
It feels like 5, but it feels like it's what 5 should have been, and
yeah,
when it first came out,
yeah,
which is probably why a lot of Street Fighter 5 players are carrying over to the game very well.
yeah.
'Cause it plays not exactly the same, but it plays very similar.
I mean, it's just now that parry is a universal mechanic or drive rush. Now, it's not just reserved for certain characters, but like everyone can steal their turn. So it's yeah, I'm curious to see how everything pans out, but it does very much still feel like 5.
yeah. And from what I understand, like obviously I haven't touched the game yet, but you need a perfect parry in order to punish off of it.
2 frame. So it's really more like I think from the videos that I've been watching, it's kind of similar to like Third Strike where you buffer parry, but they're just kind of buffer parrying like in certain ranges where
Oh,
where they
With the
feel
punish
like
damage is the damage that you
it's
get from
nerfed.
it
Yeah, it's
is
nerfed.
bad. Like I perfect parry somebody yesterday and did a full level 3 super and like
Took
it did
nothing.
nothing.
Like you were
Uh,
hitting Q or
it
something.
was so heartbreaking when I saw that. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
all that
garbage.
work just for that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Wow.
I mean, if anything, you should get more damage because it's so
I
hard.
know, like I feel like if you get a perfect parry, like you should reward the player for actually pulling that off. Because, like you said, I think it's like 2 to 3 frames that you have to do that. And like, come on, like, I understand the nerfing portion of it, but it's like really bad nerf. Like it's almost to the point where why even do it?
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like I mean, do something else. Like I don't know, like if you perfect parry, it depletes your. I mean, because like you could kind of keep doing it, right? Like, but there should be some other penalty or something. Well, I mean, it takes, yeah, I don't know. Perfect parry is kind of interesting. I just don't like the slowdown thing either.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've missed a lot of punishes because of that slowdown.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and probably call it here. But before we get out of here, once again, looking forward to next weekend, Jazzy finale weekend. This is
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be uh, uh, our fourth finale. Uh, Crazy to think that we started this back in 2018, and a few years and a pandemic later, we are finally at Akihabara Arcade. Uh, quite possibly, the perfect venue to do something like this, and just looking forward to seeing everybody at the finale. If you still haven't signed up yet, if you're still thinking about going, head over to start.gg/Jazzy3S. Very easy to remember, Jazzy3S. And consider coming out on Friday, day one. We're going to do a 5v5 team tournament. We have about like 14 teams right now. And so, we're hoping that maybe we can have enough teams to run it Coop style. But if not, we'll go ahead and do something more conventional like single limb or something. But the team tournament is always very hype on Friday. Then on Saturday, we got the last chance qualifier pools. Remember that there are still 6 slots left in the 16-player Jazzy finale for Sunday. And so those 6 spots are going to be filled by players who get out of their pools in the last chance qualifier. 3 pools, 2 players getting out of each pool. And then on Sunday, we got the main event, Jazzy finale. The 6 players who make it out of LCQ meet the 5 auto qualifiers, along with the 5 players who earn the most points during the season. One big old final bracket to see who takes the whole thing. And on top of that, we're gonna have a community side stream for anyone who wants to do other stuff like sets and events. Yes, Envy is guaranteed a spot in top 16, and so watch him work. Also in the team tournament as well as Sunday. But yeah, looking forward to Jazzy finale weekend. Never been to Denver before, so looking forward to that trip. And so yeah, head over to start.gg/Jazzy3S. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it there. Take care, everyone, and I'll catch you later.